Equilibrium of a rigid body, part 3, question 6. The ball of a pendulum of weight 600 gram weight is displaced until the string makes an angle of measure 30 to the vertical under the action of a force perpendicular to the string. Here we have the vertical, and this is the ball of the pendulum and is displaced with an angle of measure 30 under the action of this perpendicular force to the string. That means the angle between the force and the string equals 90 degrees. And here we have measure of angle 30. Here it is the angle between the string and the vertical. And we complete the figure. Here we put these informations. Here is the weight of the ball, 600 gram weight, and we have a triangle ABC, and we calculate the angle, the measure of the angles between each two forces. So the angle between the tension in the string T and F is 90, and since the measure of this angle equal 30 and the angle B equal 90, so measure of angle ACB is 60, and we can say that measure of the angle and the measure of the angle between the line of action of the weight and horizontal, here this angle is 90. Then calculating the angle between F and 600, it will be 120, as the sum of a cumulative angle about a point, the point C, 360. So 360 minus 90 minus 60 minus 90 again, it is 120. So you can say that it's very important. The measure of the angle between the tension, line of action of tension, and the force is 90, and the measure of the angle between the tension and the weight is 60 plus 90 is 150, and the measure of the angle between the force and the weight is 120. And applying Lami's rule, we get 600 over sine 90, 600 over sine 90 equals F over sine 150 equals T over sine 120. And from this proportional, we can calculate each of the force F and the tension T as follows. F equals sine 150 multiply 600 over sine 90, it will be 300 gram weight, and T equals sine 120 multiply 600 over sine 90 equals 300 root 3 gram weight. In the opposite figure, we have a weight of magnitude K. This is the weight of magnitude K. The weight is unknown, is suspended by an end of a string. Here is the string from the point A. The other end is suspended by two strings passing through two smooth pulleys at B and C. Here in these two branches we have the weight 30 and the weight 20. So we have a tension T1 in the string AB and the other tension T2 at the string AC. So you can consider T1 equals 30 and T2 equals 20 kilogram weight, and the weight of the body is unknown of magnitude K. In this figure, the measure of the angle between the line of action of T1 and the horizontal is 60, and the measure of the angle between the line of action of T2 and the horizontal is theta. So the required is to find the value of the weight K and the measure of theta in a state of equilibrium. Applying Lamb's rule, we can write 30 over sine 90 plus theta. Here is T1, it is of magnitude 30. What is the measure of the angle between the other two forces? The other two forces T2 and K. It is 90 plus theta. So we write T1 over sine theta plus 90. And we know that T1 equal the weight 30. So we write 30 over sine 90 plus theta equals T2 of magnitude 20 over the measure opposite angle. It is 60 plus 90. So we write 20 over sine 60 plus 90 is 150 here, equals K over sine 180. This angle, it is 180 minus theta plus 60, and we write it in this form. So in the third ratio, we write K over sine 180 minus 60 plus theta as the sum of these three angles, 1, 2, 3, 180. So the unknown angle, it will be of measure 180 minus the sum of 60 plus theta. And we complete. Remember that sine 90 plus any angle of measure alpha equals cosine alpha, and the sine 180 minus alpha equals sine alpha. Again, sine 90 plus alpha equals cosine alpha. So if alpha equal 30, for example, you can write sine 90 plus 30 equals cosine 30. If the measure of alpha is any angle theta, so you can substitute sine 90 plus theta equals cosine theta. And the same with respect to sine 180 minus alpha. Sine 180 minus alpha equals sine alpha. Sine 180 minus theta equals sine theta. Sine 180 minus 60 equals sine 60, and so on. And we will use this information to simplify this proportional. So by simplifying, we write 30 over cosine theta as sine 90 plus theta equals cosine theta. Sine 90 plus 60, it is sine 150, which equal half, and the 20 over sine 150 equals 40. Again, sine, you can write on your calculator 20 over sine 90 plus 60, it will be 40. Why? Because sine 90 plus theta, 90 plus 60, it is sine 150, which equal half, and the 20 divide half equals 40, and here the third ratio, K over sine 180 minus 60 plus theta equals sine 60 plus theta equals sine 60 plus theta. According to this rule, sine 180 minus alpha equals sine alpha. So sine 180 minus 60 plus theta equals sine 60 plus theta. And the complete cosine theta equals 30 over 40. Cosine theta multiply 40 equal 30. So cosine theta equals 30 divide 40 in this form, which equal 3 over 4. 30 divide 40 in the simplest form equals 3 over 4. And to complete, to find the value of theta. So measure of angle theta equals cosine minus 1, 3 over 4. You will write on your calculator, shift cosine 3 over 4, and don't forget to close the bracket. It will be 41 degrees, 24 minutes, 35 seconds. And this is one of the two required, as the required is to find or calculate the measure of angle theta. It is 41 degrees, 24 minutes, 35 seconds. To find the k, we substitute theta equals 41 degrees, 24 minutes, 35 seconds. So k equals 40 multiply sine 60 plus theta. K equals 40 multiply sine 60 plus 41 degrees, 24 minutes, 35 seconds here. By calculating this value on calculator, so we have k equals approximately 39.2107 kilogram